Hello, welcome to podcast number 6. I do today have the man, the myth, the legend, Big HarryG. Harry's got quite a unique story. You're actually the first Canadian on the show. Funny enough, thing is this is shot in Canada, but you're my first Canadian. Harry had quite the upbringing, in the snowboard world as a very talented snowboarder. And as I like to keep this channel or this podcast somewhat snow related, the perfect guest. So today we're going to dive into all things snowboarding, Harry's career. Unfortunately, a pretty nasty accident that did sort of put a break on what he was doing. And then towards the end of the show, I think we'll dive into comps and where he thinks they will go in the future, especially seeing as Harry does do a little bit of comp judging himself. But to start things off, give him a little bit of a spiel about how you were as a kid and what happened, or just your snowboarding career, because it is something that not a lot of people get to experience and do as a kid.
Yeah. Before I start,
yeah,
can I swear or not?
Yeah, 100%. Go for your
Sweet.
Yeah.
So I guess it all started. It all kind of started when I was like, fucking 9 months old.
Yeah.
Sounds weird.
Yeah, it does.
But I grew up when I was super young, like before I was 1 year old, doing like mommy and me gymnastics.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Damn.
And then from there, I just funneled in to doing gymnastics. So by the time I was 6, I was already provincial champion within my age group of all around gymnastics.
Yeah. Damn. Okay.
So I guess, and then that's what kind of led to some of my airworthiness, I guess you could say.
Yeah. 100%.
And the individual sports, because the whole time my parents funneled me into trying to play hockey.
Yeah, the typical Canadian thing, right?
Which I did for 2 years, and I got 1 goal and an open net, and it just creeped in.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was the last game of the season, and the other coach pulled the goalie. They like to give every kid a goal.
Yeah. So you didn't have to do a nudie run, right?
Yeah, I was never. Yeah, exactly. I was never the team player, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
I was always a kid doing the Happy Gilmore at the fucking hockey stick. My legs waving to my dad as a buck pass. So, gymnastics, and that funneled into trampolining. Yeah. Which I did from around 8 to 11, and that was also...
Was that like a big thing? Because I remember I did like a little bit of gymnastics as a kid, and so did my younger brothers, but it was like something that I did for maybe like 6 months, and then I just moved on. Was it something that you felt like a lot of other kids did, or was it just...
No, it was but it was definitely like a me thing. Like all my friends like played hockey and all that stuff. Yeah. I think the reason why I did it was because it was like I said,
it was just you
down to like mommy and me gymnastics.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it funneled down to like I always kind of like did it.
Yeah.
My parents just put me into it.
Yeah.
Also, embarrassingly enough, I did one winter of figure skating.
Oh damn.
Yeah, because my sister is a champion figure skater. My parents put me into that for 1 year, which
wow.
When I tried to learn how to skate with figure skates, the toe picks, I got 2 fat lips.
Yeah, damn. Figure skating, dude, I suck ass at skating. It's so difficult. I don't know why I find it so difficult.
It's hard, dude.
Yeah.
But the thing is, when you learn on hockey skates, you can like lean forward.
Yeah, the figure skates.
And then when you switch to a figure skates, there's a pick at the end. I'd like lean forward and catch my toes. I'd literally catch the picks and go to your face.
Oh, dude, that's not nice. That's not good.
But enough of that sport. But yeah, so then I was trampolining. But for me, it was always like individual. I was never good. I was always just like, I'm small now. I was a small kid. Yeah. So like hockey, I always got checked way too much. I did 1 year in lacrosse. I got destroyed. Yeah. Fucking too slow for soccer. Yeah. I did like baseball. Yeah. Because I sat down 3/4 of the time. Yeah. So gymnastics, I guess, was my thing. Yeah. And then then I switched from gymnastics to trampolining because I remember always looking over the trampoline dudes and seeing they didn't have to do all the conditioning and training and fucking stretching and having the coach push a mat against my legs against the wall. I'm against the wall doing splits. Yeah. To try and force me to get more flexible. Yeah. So switched over to trampolining and did that for 4 years, and then that gave me my awareness. Yeah. And from there, I started snowboarding because of my older brother. Yeah. When I was 6. Yeah. On a family trip. Yeah, my family's a big believer. Sorry, it took a long time to get there.
Yeah, that's right.
But my family's all quickened up here. My family's a big believer in, or was a big believer in, like every Saturday. Yeah. Let's go to the ski hill. So
because you guys lived pretty close to the hill, right?
Yeah. Well, kind of. I grew up in Scarborough, which when I started when I was like a year old, just outside of Toronto. Yeah. So it's still an hour drive to the ski hill, which is 250 feet tall, called Dagmar.
Yeah, that's it. Literally, guys, with like it's just a fucking hill. I've seen like the piece map for it. It's fucking disgusting.
Yeah, Dagmar's in smaller than Blue, which is probably I think the one you saw.
Oh yeah, damn. Oh yeah, shit, Dagmar. Yeah, I was thinking of Blue.
Yeah,
right?
Blue's the biggest one in Ontario. That's the one you graduate to. Dagmar's, but which now they actually have a pretty good park setup, so shout out to them.
Yeah.
But so I was like grew up doing like between my dad's legs like skiing.
Yeah.
And when I was 6, my brother, who's half brother I guess.
Yeah.
Is he came back from living up in Banff, snowboarding, so of course it was like a younger brother had to do whatever he does.
Yeah, 100%.
So begged for a snowboard, got one, and I just remember the first time like getting on the chairlift.
Yeah.
And all I could do was just go straight down the run, the baby run.
Yeah.
The bunny hill.
Yeah.
And I couldn't turn, couldn't do anything, and just at the end, instead of stopping, I just slip out to my ass.
Yeah.
Slide to the fence, get up, and then go back to the chairlift.
Yeah.
And just do that all day long.
Yeah.
And within a few years, like, it started to click, I guess.
Yeah.
And when I was 10, my parents signed me up for a semi-competitive program in Ontario.
Yeah.
And it was originally supposed to be for Saturdays.
Yeah.
It's called the Interclub program.
Yeah.
And they competed against a few different local other hills that were in the same escarpment.
Yeah.
And after that first Saturday, I begged and pleaded for them to sign me up for the Sunday.
Yeah.
Which up until then, as lame as we'd always go to Sunday school.
Okay.
Church on Sunday, so Saturday was skiing, Sunday was home.
Yeah.
And that was the first Sunday season I was like, okay, we're at the hill both Saturday and Sunday. That was our weekend.
Yeah.
Which is the best thing ever as a 10-year-old kid.
Yeah, it's just like the dream, right?
Yeah, and that's where I met a few fairly important buddies that I to tend to end up hanging out with for a long time. And
yeah.
Go through my snowboard career with.
Yeah.
But from there, I met this one kid, Zach Stone. And
yeah.
Next thing you know, I'm hanging out with this guy, Jesse Fulton.
Yeah.
Who used to be a pro snowboarder. I moved back from Whistler because of an injury that he had.
Yeah.
And
did you say that he sort of groomed you into who you were as a snowboarder?
Oh yeah, for sure. For like a long, better part of 10 years, I spent more time with him than almost my family.
Yeah, because obviously I'll link your Instagram, but your clips, when I watch your style of writing, you definitely don't you're not the guy who's posting these fucking videos and videos of backboard pretzels and frontboard pretzels, which nothing's wrong with that. I enjoy that style. But you've definitely got the old school style that, the traditional snowboarder froths. And I guess that would come from the fact that you were obviously on the Canadian snowboard team as a pipe rider, right?
Yeah, I was a pipe jock for sure.
Yeah, so how did you, when did it start the transition from going, okay, I really like snowboarding, I'm pretty good at snowboarding, I'm on the half pipe team. How does that start?
So this is actually, I know I'm being real long-winded in that past answer. This is where it gets fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, meeting Jesse,
we
did basically a few weeks of riding at night, because Blue Mountain at night riding.
Yeah.
And my buddy and I were both 10 and 11, and it was just 10 and 12, so frothing anything, so it's snowboarding.
Yeah, 100%. Snowboard on fucking sheet ice. Yeah, no worries.
Actually,
don't care. Yeah.
Literally the nickname for Blue Mountain was Blue Ice Mountain.
Yeah.
But met him, and basically the next season we did an AOS program, which is the Ontario official association of snowboarding.
Yeah.
And that year, when we were 11, we went to the U.S. Open.
Yeah,
which at the time was a real open.
Yeah.
You you could enter in the lottery and get in the pre-qualifiers.
Yeah.
And if you qualified, you could essentially qualify all the way to finals.
Yeah. Shit. That's at 11.
Well, I wasn't at that point, but anyway, that was the year that Dana Davis actually kind of got discovered, which is funny because he was at Stratton Mountain School, which is where the U.S. Open was.
Yeah.
But yeah, I went there, and that was kind of the trip that changed everything.
Yeah.
To say, because they had a portion called the Junior Jam.
Yeah.
And at the time, that's where Jesse had pointed out to a Burton higher up.
Yeah.
Myself.
Yeah.
I guess they saw and took notice, and that summer, I got invited out to a trip to Mount Hood.
Yeah, damn.
So at 11, my parents shipped me off by myself to Mount Hood.
That's character building, man. That's how you do parenting.
It was sweet. I love them for it, but I never forget it. I remember I got to the Toronto Pearson Airport, and they gave this big red and white striped, badge that says unidentified minor, and I'm like, this is basically a bullseye for me to get taken.
Yeah.
I'm like,
yeah, damn.
It's you'd think it'd be a little more conspicuous, but that trip, which actually had quite a few heavy hitters on it, was at the time the Burton Smalls, which I didn't know was what I was kind of getting tested for, was only Ben Watts, Hans and Nils Minnick, and Kyle Mack.
Oh yeah, damn.
Kyle Mack was 6 at the time.
Yeah.
But on that trip, they invited a few more people, which were myself,
Yeah.
Ben Ferguson, Taylor Gold,
Yeah.
Max Raymer, and Max Worthington, I believe.
Yeah.
And out of that, myself, Taylor Gold, and Ben Watts got added to the team.
Yeah, it's awesome, man.
And from there, that sort of kicked off everything. We started, I got a contract at 11.
That's crazy.
Which was pretty
Dude, I was trying to beat the Pokemon League at fucking 11. You're out here riding for fucking Team Canada.
Oh, not Team Canada, that was the Burton Smalls.
The Burton Smalls, still ridiculous, right?
Pretty nuts at the time. And
yeah.
We did Warren Miller films and all that stuff, and like that whole time I was watching on all the Mac Dog films and Robot Food films, and wanted to be a diehard snowboarder, so like street riding and like contests, but you have to do contests to get to the streets.
Yeah, 100%.
And I was always a slopestyle guy because for a long time the only focus into the Olympics was pipe, so that's kind of where everyone's focus was. So slopestyle was kind of not the renegade, it was what everyone liked to do more, I'd say, but it was just kind of like there was, for lack of a better word, a little less money in it for provincial and national funding. Yeah. And I was on the Smalls till I was 14, and then switched over to the Burton national team, moved up because obviously I wasn't a youth anymore. Yeah. And that's kind of when things changed, because that's when the talks of slopestyle being allowed into the Olympics got let in. Yeah. So a lot of people started to gravitate and switch their focus from halfpipe slopestyle in Canada. As you know, we have the most dominant slopestyle team in the world. Yep, you definitely do. So halfpipe kind of opened up a big void. Yeah. And it was at the time, there were some big heavy hitters like Jeff Batchelor and Brad Martin and Justin Lamer and Chris Lipscomb on not so much heavy hitters, but on kind of getting on the end of their competitive series. Yeah. So myself and Derek Livingston sort of saw an opening and took it, and that's where things sort of switched more to the halfpipe side. Yeah. And mind you, the whole time I was going to the national development team training camps after nationals and stuff as a youth for development camp. So was halfpipe something you actually wanted to do, or was it just because there was an opening that you saw there was a chance for you to push your riding further in terms of like national? Because every kid's dream is to represent their country in something, right? So well, that's the funny thing is, for a long time in snowboarding, and up until recently, and still with a lot of people, the Olympics is kind of like the Antichrist. Yeah. And the biggest thing is you get more notoriety within the snowboard community for say something like X Games or Due Tour. Yeah. Or at the time, like Toyota Big Air in Japan, which was an insane thing, or Innsbruck InStyle and all that, or Innsbruck Air InStyle and all those kind of things. How held more clout within the community that you cared for, but of course, the Olympics is always an underlying thing that no one really wants to admit to, but always everyone wants to ring. Yeah, everyone wants about it. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. But at the time, it's funny. It wasn't like, obviously I loved halfpipe. Like I always liked to pride myself being an all-around snowboarder. Yeah. But it was, I definitely was like, I want to be in the streets. Yeah. My drum was 16 years old. 100%. Yeah. Watching Jed Anderson on repeat. Yeah. It's like that's what was like I thought was the shit, right? Yeah. So now I'm like, let's get a sled, get my split board, let's go out and I don't sled. I have a split board, can't afford a sled. Yeah. But long story short, let's just get into the mountains. Yeah. But really what it came down to was that was kind of when I was getting a little older, I wasn't in the Grom anymore, so it was like not that the contracts were changing, but it was just more something like I need to start finding more of my own financials to support the travel of chasing the halfpipe dream, because that then requires trips. Yeah, big time. To lax. Yeah, training. Yeah, you need to be snowboarding all year round. Yeah, and I dropped out of school when I was like 16. And all that. So that's basically the thing that where halfpipe was alluring, is because I could not easily, but with my skill set and with the run that I had, I knew I could get carding from the government. So in that year of 2012. I went from being ranked 18th in Canada in halfpipe to being second behind my buddy Derek Livingston. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's a video of that on YouTube, right? There's a video of like one of my runs at one of the contests, but not of like that was like that whole season, like
Because I think I've seen that video. Like, how old are you in that video? The one that's on YouTube. It's like Harrison Gray, but I'll put it up.
Oh, the Burn Smalls video?
Yeah. Oh, is that the Smalls one? Is it?
Wait, the Smalls one when I'm like 12 and 13.
I'll put it up in the middle of us while this goes anyway, so everyone can watch. But yeah.
I'm not sure what video you're talking about.
Yeah. Oh well, I'm gonna put it up anyww. But yeah, it's just a video.
I don't live a space bit now.
Yeah.
Which we'll get to.
Yeah.
I lost my train of thought.
Yeah, that's alright. But obviously, you continue to grow and you were competing, and then unfortunately, there was quite a gnarly injury.
Oh yeah, there was a few sprinkled in there when I was. There's the big one which I'll climb about. I'll cover the whole draft real quick.
Yeah.
It all started actually here at Camp of Champions.
Yeah.
15. Shit hooked off the frontside hip. Shit hooked left because I'm regular off the frontside hip.
Yeah.
It fell quite a ways to flat.
Yeah.
I got a very minor fracture in my one of my L5 vertebrae.
Yeah.
And that sort of put me out for 5-6 months, and then first trip back into Colorado that year, first attempt at a double cork, came up a little short, blew out my knee, blew out the MCL meniscus in my left knee. That took me out for, luckily only I had scope surgery in the left, that took me out for quite a bit.
Yeah.
As soon as I healed that, I was filming with New Pollution, which is an American network.
Yeah.
Had an 86.0 release.
Yeah.
For when they just opened the Park in Seymour during the Olympics in 2010.
Yeah.
And blew up my right knee and fractured my jaw, my cheek, my orbital bone.
Yeah.
And then it was good for a bit. And the big one was when I broke my back in May of 2013.
Yeah.
And got 4 vertebrae seized in my spine.
Yeah, that's fucked up, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was quite the experience.
Yeah, there's actually something I completely like. I do actually plan these out. But there's actually something I wanted to mention, and I know that you don't like talking about this, and I didn't write it down on the board because I knew I was just going to bring it up once we've already started because then the camera's rolling. Yeah. Yeah. What was it like being a Disney kid?
I'm gonna get a beer for this one.
For those who don't know, Harry was on Disney Channel. There was a Canadian TV program called Shreducation. Pretty much the Canadian, normal TV show where kids watch snowboarders shred.
Nothing normal about it.
Nothing normal about it. Harry was one of the main stars. Anything is big enough as long as you believe or something. And nothing's impossible as long as you believe. Come on, just say.
The commercial is anything is possible.
Yeah.
All you have to do is try it.
Yeah. Ash always fucking takes a piss out of you about that. I honestly, don't get me wrong, man, it is funny, but I honestly think it's ridiculously good. Like, it's crazy that you are like at that level at such a young age that a huge corporate entity of like Disney was like, let's make a TV show with you in it.
So it's funny because Jesse, like, I hate to give him credit, but I got it. Jesse Fulton and this his buddy at the time, and Francis Mitchell sort of manifested it. Yeah. Because originally we had funded the first season on our own dime.
Oh damn! Okay.
And excuse me.
That's alright.
The Score, which is a Canadian sports network.
Yeah.
Basically a rip-off Canadian version of ESPN.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me. It would air it. They had an annual. We used Tuesday nights. Yeah. And they had an annual viewers of like 53,000.
Yeah.
So it wasn't big, and the first season was pretty crude.
Yeah.
And we filmed the pilot, and then because at the time the whole premise was that we all had travel budgets with the contracts that we were on with our different companies.
Yep.
There was a collection of like 5 of us that sort of all had our own different sponsors, and we all traveled as a team together because we all grew up and rode together. Yeah. And just Fulton was our derelict coach. Yeah. Sort of leading a group of derelict snowboarders. And that was the premise of the show, right? It was just a bunch of derelicts. Yeah. Causing shenanigans and snowboarding and figuring it all out.
Because this was like sort of when like obviously snowboarding filming had been around for ages, but this is when it, like I feel like it really started to gain like traction as the world was slowly moving towards this like where we are now, where everything has to be shown.
Yeah, this was definitely where, because I remember that like we had, and so this is where it all changed. Like the first season was filmed on, I believe a VX 2100.
Yeah.
Which is still, you know, a tape. It
Yeah.
was good, and sort of a semi-okay skate camera there, straight to the VX 1000.
Yeah.
What happened was we basically filmed that season ourselves and put it together, and the score bought it and aired for a year, and then I don't know how, but they somehow sold it to Disney.
Yeah.
And Disney funded the second season, and to kick it off, they flew us out to Argentina to go ride.
Fucking dope.
And the crazy thing was, because it was all of our first time there, we were filming. It was supposed to be the first episode of season 1.
Yeah.
Or season 2, sorry.
Yeah.
You know, they got us a bus instead of flying us from Bariloche to Buenos Aires. They got us a bus to Patagonia, which was 25 hours straight.
Holy shit.
When you took a first class bus, so like all the seats like fold down to bed.
Yeah.
We had the movies and meal service and everything, but we got to see the whole country.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, we got to.
And how old were you then? Sorry.
I was 16.
That's fucking.
Filmed the first season, we were 14. I was in grade 9.
That's crazy.
One quick side note: the funny thing is, in the town I grew up in, there's this place called Tom and Jerry's that everyone would go to on Tuesdays for half price wings.
Yeah.
And then you go to watch half price movies.
Yeah.
And Tom and Jerry's would always have the score on.
Oh, right.
And so there was a lot of times where I'd be like there with like, you know, my sister and my friends.
Yeah.
Usually super baked.
Yeah.
Because I live pretty close to street smoke like John away.
Yeah.
And the TV show Education would come on in the bar.
Oh, right.
As I'm like in the bar eating food.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of a funny little thing.
Yeah.
It definitely was, you know, a little sort of helped me out in high school a little bit, coming back to the parties and shit when I was there.
Yeah, 100%, man. Obviously, there's not many kids at that age that get to do exactly what you've done. But in saying that, also, you've also seen the extreme dark sides of what snowboarding can do to the body if it's not respected enough. And like, I don't mean as in like you didn't respect it, but it's definitely something where as much as you want to push yourself, there's always limits and there's a lot of risks that need to be taken. And that's why I think that the snowboarders nowadays are put on such a high pedestal, because they're going out there and throwing down ridiculously technical and difficult tricks that can, if there's like a second wrong, can go completely wrong.
I almost should have no power to write stuff down so I wouldn't interrupt you. But no, you're definitely kind of right in the sense that I didn't respect it, but I wouldn't say I didn't respect the aspect of snowboarding, but I didn't respect what it takes. Yeah. You know, to keep the body in shape to want to do that stuff, and that, mind you,
but you know, I think that might be purely just because the lifestyle that was surrounded by it when you were coming up with it. Like,
this is the thing is, I was sorry again to interrupt, but I was in that sort of formative generation where, like, you know, like when we watched the videos in snowboarding, you know, for Canadian snowboarding, it's a lot of time it was like, and this is gonna be a real hard Canadian show, like the whiskey videos and the Wildcat videos. Half of those videos is just partying.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, and everything, so there was a lifestyle around it.
But that's what it was now. I mean, that's what it was.
It was also 5s and 7s.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, there was a lot of dudes like Jeremy Jones still getting it, like backcountry Jeremy Jones, not. Yeah. And Rail Rider at the time, foreign Rail Rider Jeremy Jones was still getting it too, but it was the consequences weren't nearly as high. Yeah. Whereas in like I was in that generation where double corks developed, you know, really started to develop. Because I remember being 11 years old. Yeah. And watching Seb Toots win the Empire Shakedown at 13, I believe, or 12, because he's a year or 2 years older than me. Yeah. With a Cat 9. Yeah. And it was this big, just like this little kid winning a big contest, they won like 10 grand. Yeah. It was like under 13 or 12 was huge. Yeah. But that was kind of like the beginning of like, you know, like this is where things are getting
serious now.
You know, and like, cause I remember watching, you know, Follow Me Around for the first time, where Aratilla does the double backside rodeo 10 at the end of the step up, and if you pause it at the right part in the video, there's a secret part, which is a throwback to old, you know, skate and snowboard videos. Yeah. And he does one in the backcountry, a little sloppy the landing, so you're gonna put it in the main part. Yeah. But so this is the part of the generation where like you had to start transition, and now the way snowboarding is. Yeah, it's like to do triple corks and you like you said, you need
you need to be
doing.
You need to be doing the homework as well. Like you need to be stretching, you need to be eating, you need to be doing everything.
You need to be in the gym, and that's what the guys like said, Mark, and you know, all these guys are doing now. Is you know, guys like Sage and stuff. It's like they're training because the level of riding is so high.
Yeah.
And everyone's perfect.
This is a perfect transition to the next thing I want to talk about, which happens to be like competition riding. Like growing up in the industry, like even me being, obviously I'm not the greatest snowboarder, but I love the sport. Like where do you think it's going to go in terms of comps? Do you think there's going to be a new comp that's going to overtake slopestyle because you're sick and tired of like watching the same person drop down, do the same trick with an extra spin? I understand that like some comps have now gone, okay, you need to spin off your fucking heels, and then the next one you have to spin off your toes, and like, you know, they're changing it up, like, which is great, but like, I don't know, like watching some of the like, I just prefer like something that stees the fuck out.
So there's actually a few things that I think are sort of there's a few different contests and a few different things that are leading, I think, going to start really taking over.
Yeah.
Is you have events now, like this is sort of kicking it back a few years, like Red Bull double pipe.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Which was a pretty revolutionary event. Mind you, two half pipes are side by side, but with the spine and the rails and the pipe. It's basically essentially a pipe style.
Yeah.
But from that sort of transition into now, you know, you have things like Danny Davis has peace pipe.
Yeah. Which is great, which is fantastic.
What you're starting to see now on top of this is, like at Do Tour, they had the pipe style event.
Yeah.
Yeah,
there's one thing about that, like, sorry to cut you, but like, I watched that, Rene had the best run, like, regardless.
Well, this is the thing is...
But he didn't throw a 12.
This is the thing is, the style of judging will change to that, but this is the first year that sort of has really been applied. Like, the double pipe, you can still apply the full criteria to it.
Yeah.
And the main thing, though, and what we'll always sort of keep it this way, and what will change over time is if these events, like say that, you know, the Do Tour when they do the pipe style, because the Do Tour is still technically a TTR spot. There's within snowboarding there's two sort of judging sets. There's FIS and TTR. Yeah. And they align pretty similar. Yeah. And there's a few main differences, but the thing is that's just how like the contest has been judged. Yeah. So that's how the ratings and the star system for the contest are applied. So for Do Tour to fall into that system, they have to apply the judging. Yeah. So what will happen is, and it will change, like judging will change, and already at the international clinics that we're doing and that we're participating in, you know, this is a big portion of what we're talking about, because now you're starting to see the angle takeoffs, and you're starting to see the takeoffs that are also straight but quarter pipe side hits. Yeah. And what is weighed more heavily, and because for a long time, like when I was growing up in snowboarding, like, and I think it should actually come back. It's one thing I think it should come back, at least in half pipe, is mandatory straight air. Yeah. In any FIS event, there used to be a mandatory straight air. Yeah, really. And for like a long time, you used to complain, like, I have to do a straight air. Yeah. What? No, I want to do like 9, 9, 10, 10. Yeah, yeah. 7 crippler done. Yeah. You know, or like 9, 9, 10, 10 double, back 5 out or whatever. But now something's changing though, and you have friends like Danny Davis who are doing switch straight airs and that was fucking sick, man. And you know, Ben Ferguson are really James.
Like, don't get me wrong, like I fucking love Scotty James. I think he's an incredible rider. I respect him so much. Like,
he throws a good switch method in there.
Yeah, 100%. Like that's what I mean. But like, do you think it needs to be something that like the riders have to come together? And like,
well, I don't think anything should be mandatory. This is me just with my old man mentality that I have. Yeah. I think I'm just like, fuck it, that should be something that should come back. Yeah. But the downside of that was, you know, there was a lot of other rules, and basically we were stuck under ski judging, and and there was a difference, you know, like style for a long time wasn't a criteria. Whereas still technically style isn't a criteria, but style falls into overall impression. Yeah. And it does weigh heavily on overall impression. Not heavily, I should say. But it does weigh on overall impression because style basically falls into if you know how to execute that trick well enough or not. Yeah. And execution is a portion of it, so style does follow also with an execution as well. Yeah. But it's going to take a bit for it to catch up. But the thing now that's changing is, you know, for a long time, FIS was run by skiers and like old ski dudes and like those.
Hey, hi, hello. President Mitchell editing the podcast. This idiot here didn't will, remember that this wonderful camera here can only film up for 30 minutes at a time, and unfortunately we did happen to creep over that 30-minute mark. But not to worry, I do actually record the times of the podcast on my watch, so you guys only really missed out on a minute of Harry just talking about how comps are now getting, judged by snowboarders, and that, big corporations that were once, ski orientated are no longer judging snowboard comps, and that he thinks that, snowboard comps will continue to grow and become, more style orientated and stuff like that. So you guys didn't miss out on too much more. In saying that, super thankful that Harry did come on the show. Such a great guy. Very happy, and I'm very lucky to know him as a mate. And I do intend on having him back on the show throughout the summer. There's so much more that we could talk about. Harry is also a phenomenal skateboarder, so we could all dive straight into just the skate scene and what he likes to do with that. But besides all that, guys, hope you really enjoyed this one. Be sure to, like, subscribe, make sure you go pat some puppies. But besides that, man, have a great day, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace, bye.